Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and man, there are some more Mercy changes. I thought we were done. I thought she went through puberty, but no, she's still receiving some changes, along with all the other healers, except for Zenyatta. Zenyatta didn't receive any changes, but for today's video, we're going to be looking at all the healer buffs and nerfs, and just really be explaining it from my point of view. Jeff has his own saying, but a lot of it is very vague, a lot of it isn't straight to the point. I'm really just going to be talking about it and what I think of all these changes, but I also want to hear what you guys have to say. A lot of the comments are going to be around Mercy, which I understand because, well, Mercy has been receiving the most changes for the longest period of time. And also, just to tell you guys, there isn't any changes on PTR or live servers as I'm recording this, and by the time you're watching this, it's probably going to be the 19th of July. So anyway, let's go right into it because there is a lot we need to talk about. So the first one is Ana. This is a straight up buff, and Ana received a buff to her nano boost, which additionally heals a target instantly for 300 HP. So have you ever been in a situation where maybe your Reinhardt has his Earth Shadow, you want to nano him, but he's really low, so it's like, okay, hold on Reinhardt, let me build you up from 100 to 500, not anymore, you don't. Now you just have to nano him and he instantly regains 300 HP. So if he's at that 100 HP mark, nano him, he'll be at 400 HP and he'll be good to go. Now you just have to just shoot him a bunch. There's no changes to how much health he does receive. There's no more changes to how much damage or health and to the actual biotic rifle. None of that. It's straight up just 300 HP to the nano boost. That's it. So that's really good. But you have to look at it from a pick rate standpoint because this is the biggest reason why they're throwing all these buffs and nerfs into this pot of healers, is to allow players to really pick more healers than just Mercy. Is Ana gonna now be the main healer taking over the more of her Mercy spot as the primary healer? Is that worth it? Is it really worth it? In my eyes, it's not. I want to be straight up honest, guys. It's really not, because Resurrect is just so powerful unless you have a really kind of pushy comp, a really mobile comp, a really like, all right, get in there, guys, we're gonna dive them, that kind of comp. But now let's look at everyone's least favorite healer, Brigitte. Oh, Brigitte, so many people hate you just for your shield bash. Well, that's good because the shield bash actually received a nerf. Now the cooldown increased from 6 seconds to 7 seconds. A lot of people are going to complain about it. A lot of people think that they should just delete the shield bash. More or less Reinhardt mains. Reinhardt's probably hate Brigitte, but here is my theory whenever it comes to playing Reinhardt against a Brigitte. Don't play a Reinhardt against a Brigitte. That might sound arrogant, but here is my statement. Will you play Zenyatta when they have a Genji and a Tracer? No, not really, because those are two flankers that can exploit your weakness. Reinhardt's weakness is that he has to be stationary at the front lines. Brigitte can bring down the Rein shield, and a Roadhog can just easily hook the Reinhardt. That's a weakness, so why not just play Orisa? Again, I'm not here to try to tell you guys why Brigitte isn't all that bad, but this is a straight up nerf. Yes, it is. Is it gonna make her less annoying? Probably not, especially to you Reinhardt mains, but there's always Orisa. Lucio, the main dude Lucio, what kind of buffs did he receive? Well, actually, he received 2 buffs. The first to his ultimate sound barrier. Now it increased from 500 shield to 750 shield. That's not like something that's like, oh my god, I need to play Lucio tomorrow, he's the greatest here. It's not one of those buffs, but something that if you're in the situation where sound barrier is very much needed, it's just going to be helping. A lot of dive comps, a lot of tanks are going to be helped with this. 250 extra shield, which is going to deteriorate after a little bit, is not something to write home about, but it's something to still be happy about, especially if you're a Lucio player. And his second buff, which is the only hero to receive 2 buffs, is to his crossfade aura. It increased from 10 meters to now 12 meters. So the circle that his song is being able to be heard from, or at least be affected by, increased a little bit. 2 meters is pretty big in my opinion. I wish I was that big, but anyway, in all honesty, these 2 buffs, they're, again, nothing to write home about, very insignificant, but in the situation, and if you're playing Lucio a lot, you're gonna see the changes. Like, it'll be helping out, that's the least I can say. And now, let's look at Mercy. Mercy's gonna be receiving the most amount of attention just because, well, again, she's a popular hero, but just because she receives so many changes. So the nerf is to her primary healer, and it got reduced, the amount of heals got reduced from 60 60 HP per second to 50 HP per second. Now, a lot of people are thinking that this is to make her a worse healer. You know, my theory on this is something that hasn't really been brought up, but it's to reduce how effective Pharmacy is. That's my first theory. My second theory is to make Ana a better suited primary healer, because the way that I look at it, I even said at the beginning of the video, is Ana going to be replacing the Mercy and Moira spot as primary healer. And now that the fact that you're able to only heal for 50 HP per second, which isn't that big of a deal, but if you start to heal tanks for longer periods of time, you're definitely going to see the effect of this nerf. But the way that I look at it also is the fact that Pharmacy is so popular and so many people hate it just because you have to play the McCree or Soldier 76. Well, if your soldier is on point, if your aim is one of the best in the game, you should be able just to shoot the Pharah without having to worry about how much heals she's receiving from Mercy. Yes, it's still going to be annoying, but that's only if your shots aren't always on point, whether it's Soldier or McCree. So as terms of Pharmacy, it will be a lot easier to kill the Pharmacy. As terms of playing Mercy and playing with tanks, this is going to be a lot harder to try to heal them, but this is where Ana's going to be able to come into play, because she's not going to be able to heal for, I think it's 70 HP, and you're going to be able to heal instantly for 300 HP. But still, is that buff to Ana going to be able to overshadow Mercy and the nerf that she's going to be able to receive? I don't really think so, just because Resurrect is just so powerful. They're never, ever gonna delete Resurrect, I don't think, unless they can come up with a better ability for Mercy that still fits her character. Overwatch is a game that's really built around character diversity and really building on that character, and Mercy is an angel that's supposed to bring people back from the dead, or at least just be an angel and heal people, but that's like a characteristic of her that they can't really get rid of. So the way that I see it, Pharmacy is now a lot easier to take out, and you're not able to heal tanks as fast as possibly Ana, but you're still able to resurrect, which is just so powerful, especially on defense. So yeah, that's Mercy. A lot of drama is gonna come out of it, but we still have one more hero we gotta look at. I hate going from a negative to a positive, but Moira actually received a buff, and it's to the ability to heal your own teammates. So this isn't a buff to her self-regeneration whenever she uses her soul-sucking ability, but more or less the resources that you gain, because now her buff allows her to gain 20% more every time you use your soul-sucking ability. So this is to help her in longer fights, at longer distance fights, because more than likely, if you're using Moira and fights just continue to go on and on and on, you're probably going to be healing your team more because you're the primary healer, but you're going to be running out of Gamer Girl P. That's just what I call it. That's the yellow spray that you're spraying on your teammates. So now whenever you use your damage dealing ability, now you're going to be able to gain a lot more health, and that in turn means you're going to be able to spray your team for longer periods of time because you gain 20% more every single time you use that ability. Hopefully that made sense. I think I explained it pretty well, but those are the changes to the and Zenyatta didn't receive any changes, like I mentioned before. So those are all the nerfs and buffs. But let's take a few steps back and talk about Mercy, because this is the one thing that most people are going to be paying attention to, just because, well, she's a popular hero, but also she's been receiving so many changes for the past year and a half, so long. But like I mentioned before, I think the main reason why they're bringing nerfs to the popular healers, Brigitte and Mercy's, because they are popular and they're trying to bring them down a bit, but they're also buffing the lesser popular healers, Lucio and Ana, to bring them up a bit. I don't know why Moira got a buff. She's kind of in her own little world. I thought she was perfect the way she was, but she's in her own world. We're more or less looking at these four healers. So does this mean the lesser popular healers, Ana and Lucio, are going to be replacing the Brigittes and Mercy's? I don't think so, unless you're running specific team comps. Because if you're running pretty popular common team comps like 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS, yeah, you're probably going to be running a Mercy and a Moira. But if you're running something more divey, something that needs speed, you're probably going to be running a Lucio and Ana. So a lot of people could be fearful of a possible dive meta or dive tank meta, because you look at Ana's buff, it instantly heals for 300 HP when you use your nano boost, and that's appealing to hefty tanks, a Reinhardt, a Diva, a Hammond. Hammond is going to be released in Season 12 more than likely, and he can literally roll with the dive comp. I don't write these commentaries, but I was so proud of that pun, man. Lucio is made for dive comp. Ana can now help the Winston or Hammond dive the enemy team. These are healers that are built for specific team comps and more or less will make them a little bit more useful. So really, whenever it comes to all these buffs and nerfs, you can't argue that it's helping and hurting some of these healers. But is it making them the best healer of all time or the worst healer of all time? I don't really think so, because it's literally just 10 HP per second for Mercy, but that's going to really hurt whenever you're healing tanks. It's not really going to hurt when you're healing DPS. Mercy's going to be healing DPS, but Ana is really built for healing tanks. So if you're running a more hefty team comp, you're going to roll with Ana. And I think that's the main reason why they're bringing all these changes. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think of all these changes. I listed all of them, and I even gave my thoughts on them and just really explained why they're coming about. So anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of these changes, and I'll see you guys later. I love you guys, and bye.